In this video, I'm going to share a children's book brand that is making over $12,000 per month from just one picture book, and let's see if we can figure out how they did it. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to see you back here next week. As some of you know from some of my previous videos, I published my very own children's book, which was aimed at kids aged around 4 to 6, and I did that around about a year ago now. I was able to write, illustrate, and publish that book myself without the need to hire any illustrators or purchase any really expensive illustrations. I learned how to do this after taking a course called the Children's Book Creator course, which showed me how you can illustrate a children's book or illustrate a book by yourself. That course is linked down in the description box below if you do want to go check it out for yourself if you're interested in publishing your very own children's book. The course is run by the lovely Nuria from the Homeboss channel, who is one of the most successful low content book publishers around. At the moment, I only have the one children's book published, but I do have plans for more, and so I do like to keep up with the children's book category on Amazon and with what's popular, what's trending, who new publishers are, etc. And I want to know what it is that customers are currently buying, what's currently trending, what are the most popular books that parents are being drawn to. And I came across this book this week, and I love the whole concept and brand behind it, and it is doing extremely well right now. So let's do a deep dive into this book and this brand and see why are parents loving it so much and what is it that's making it so successful. Now, there is just one thing I would like to make a note of. Whenever I do create videos like this, where I look at other books and I look at other brands and I talk about their sales and their income and what they possibly could be making, I always get comments about why I don't share my own income and that just sharing these videos about other books just isn't helpful, and similar comments to this. I like to share lots of other books and other brands because I want to show you that there are many people out there making a substantial income from publishing books. I know that when somebody shares an income report on YouTube, for example, about how much money they've made publishing books, there's sort of this mindset that I notice from people in the comments of, well, they've made this much money, but they're the only one, or they've been doing it for years, they got in when it was early enough to be successful, that's why they're making money, or they got in before the niche was saturated, or even things like that income report is photoshopped. And there just seems to be this mindset basically of nobody makes money publishing on Amazon KDP except for this very select special few people. So basically, I want to share all these other people, all these other books and brands to show that it is possible. It's not just one or two people on YouTube that are making this kind of money. There is lots of people out there making money publishing books. So with that aside, let's take a look at this children's book. So this is the book here. It's called Dad and Me Setting Farts Free, a funny read aloud picture book for fathers and their kids. This is a self-published book, and it has been written and illustrated by the same person. And you can see here that it isn't the most detailed or the most professional, I don't know what the word is here, but it is a very sort of simple book in terms of its illustrations. So this is where people get really caught up on the kind of illustrations you need, and that you need to have these really elaborate, detailed, artistic looking illustrations in your book, when in fact a lot of the most popular books out there are really, really simple. And I'm not saying everybody can draw this. You probably still need to have some sort of skill with drawing, but these kind of illustrations are pretty simple, and I don't think it would take most people long to learn how to draw like this if you wanted to actually draw the illustrations yourself. And I don't know what it is about farting. Kids and dads love farting, love talking about farting, and so it seems like a really good topic to create a book about. Now, this is part of a series. We can see here that this book is part of a series with 10 other books, and we'll take a quick look at all of these so we can see that all the books are around farting with just different characters within them, but for the most part all these books have the same sort of theme, the same style of illustrations, the same fonts used in the book, and it's just a bunch of different characters that this illustrator or this publisher has created, and then created all these funny little stories all around farting. Now, this is a perfect example of strong branding and creating a series of books that is really recognizable. Like I say, have the same style of illustrations, the same fonts used throughout the books, and all around the topic of farting. And this isn't something new, creating a series, and it's not something that's only done by self-publishers on Amazon KDP. This has been a massive strategy for all different types of books from all different types of authors for years. Let's think about Dr. Seuss. How many different Dr. Seuss books are out there? Also the Little Miss and the Little Men books that have been around for years. There is hundreds of those books, and even more recently we have series of books with Macca the Alpaca having a series of books all around different topics or different stories. We also have the Pig the Pug books. There is a heap of those books in their series. And also another series that's really popular are the Pigeon books. These ones all revolve around one character throughout a series of different stories. Because, and I've said it before, more books sell more books. And that is even more powerful with a really strong brand, characters that appear throughout all the books that kids can relate to, or at least a storyline kids can relate to. And if you can just create a character that kids love, and you can create multiple books around, then you'll be onto a winner. Now, with that all said, this particular publisher is really making all of their income from this one book. But my point is that they are on the right track with this brand that they're building. Now let's start looking at the numbers for these books. To get a figure of how much they could be making each month from this book, we firstly need to look at the BSR. Now the BSR is the bestseller rank. This is a number given to every book within the Amazon marketplace to demonstrate the popularity of that book with customers in the Amazon marketplace. So the lower the number, the better. And we can use the BSR to estimate how many books they could be selling every month, which then would equal into how many sales they're making every month. I use the TCK Publishing Amazon Sales Calculator tool, and we just pop in the BSR and it will give us approximately how many books could be selling every month. Now, when I looked at this book yesterday, it did have a bestseller rank of 515, and as we know, the bestseller rank does change from day to day, so it has jumped a tiny bit to 584, but my figures were all done yesterday on 514, so I am going to continue using the bestseller rank of 514. With that bestseller rank, it means they could be selling around 3,477 copies each month. I went through the rest of their books, and the rest of them had the following figures. I'll pop them up on the screen. So we have 492 books being sold each month from the bestseller ranks of the rest of their books in the series. So they had 9 or 10 books in total in that series. So 492 from the remaining books added to 3,477 from their one book that is doing extremely well, which gives us a total of approximately 969 books per month being sold. We can now use these figures to estimate the monthly income. This is easily done with Amazon's royalty calculator tool. We'll use this to get an idea of what the royalty is per book sold for those particular books. So let's head over there, and all we need to do is pop in some details about the book. These books are all priced the same, $11.88, and the pages in each book are around 38, 39, 40 pages. So let's get the royalty for a 39-page book. So this brings out the royalty to be $3.48 per book sold. So that is the actual amount that the publisher is receiving after taking out all the printing costs and Amazon's fees and all that sort of stuff. So that's what the publisher will receive in their bank account. So when we times 3,969 books sold with a $3.48 royalty, that equals $13,812 per month. And at least $12,000 of that is coming from just one book. How has this publisher done this? First of all, I do want to point out that this is a book about dads, and Father's Day is coming up in the US in June. So it is possible that this book is doing particularly well or exceptionally well right now because of the fact that Father's Day is coming up. I don't think this publisher meant to create a book that was seasonal or for a holiday, but sometimes this does just happen where you have a book that just happens to do exceptionally well at certain times of the year due to a particular holiday or season. And it's just really great exposure for all the other books in the series. And each year, all of the books in the series are just going to get stronger and stronger. So I have been looking around to see if this publisher has been doing any kind of advertising away from Amazon, and I did do a Google search for them, but couldn't find any website or any kind of blog where they're cultivating an audience to send to Amazon. So this means they are not building up an email list that I could find anyway. There is an Instagram account, but it is not active at all. And I did do a search on Facebook, but couldn't find anything on Facebook, so no Facebook pages, which means that they are also not running any kind of Facebook advertising. So I have found this with the last few brands that I have done videos about, where they basically have no presence whatsoever away from Amazon and still seeing really high levels of success with their books. Of course, I wanted to see if they are running any Amazon ads at all, and yes, we can see that they are running ads on Amazon for their books, or at least for this one particular book anyway. These books are seeing the success that they are based on just a really high quality book with a theme and a topic, farting, that appeals to kids. Kids just want to have fun and laugh, and this book fills that need. Not every book has to be a learning experience or teaching some valuable life lesson. Sometimes we just want to be entertained, and it's very interesting seeing more of these brands not utilizing any kind of advertising or any kind of promotion away from Amazon. It would also be interesting to see how much more success they could be having if they did promote their books on social media or through a website or an email list. But I guess when you are seeing upwards of $10,000 per month in royalties from the books that you do have published without having to do all this extra work, you would, I guess, sort of think, why bother? Why do I need to do all this extra work when I'm already making so much money? Personally, I'd like to think of it as a little bit of an insurance. We all know how easily accounts can be terminated on Amazon KDP for sometimes seemingly no good reason at all. I myself have had the experience of having my account terminated a couple times by mistake. So if you did have an email list, if you did have an audience on social media, it would give you some way to more quickly rebuild your income, or at least salvage some of your income if your account ever did get terminated and you couldn't get it back. It can sometimes also be helpful to have an audience to help out if your account ever did get terminated. I follow a lot of fiction authors on social media, and quite a few of them are very, very successful with their books that they have self-published on Amazon KDP, and there have been a few cases where they wrongly or accidentally got their accounts terminated. They couldn't get through to anyone at Amazon. We all know how hard it is to actually speak to a person on Amazon. We just get a lot of those bot emails, automated emails from them when we try to contact them. These authors couldn't get through to anyone on Amazon to speak to an actual person. And it was only when all their followers got involved and basically started bombarding Amazon to get these authors' accounts reinstated that they were actually able to get their accounts back. So while I do talk about having all these extra platforms to help sell your books, I also like to think of it as having sort of a little backup plan as well, in case in the event that something bad did happen to your KDP account. So what did you think about this book and this brand? What are your thoughts on these publishers who are only relying on Amazon ads to promote their book and not using any kind of platform away from Amazon to promote their books, or to at least sort of start to build an audience away from Amazon? I love creating these kind of videos, looking at other publishers and trying to work out their strategies. And if you do like these kind of videos too, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up so I know to keep making more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.